We'll start with a little bit of a palate awakening from Sandia. So you want to tell us what you brought?
So, very typical of me, I brought champagne. I picked Francoise Bedel. I actually had a hard time picking a female producer because there's actually a lot now in champagne. I mean, it's great. And I picked Francoise Bedel because she's got such a nice story. She was a single mother with two sons. One of the sons, Vincent, was diagnosed with a serious illness when he was younger. And she took him everywhere, to every single doctor she can find to find a cure for him, and nobody could cure him. Eventually, she was recommended to a neighbor of hers who was a homeopathic doctor, and eventually cured him through natural medicine. And ever since that day, the next day it was told she went into her vineyards, took every single chemical out of her winery. Nothing was used in the vineyards. Since then, everything has been organic and biodynamic. And I think the last couple years, his son has now taken over. So she's working side by side with him, which is great. It's a nice touching story. Mostly Pinot Meunier, 90% Pinot Meunier in this. And this cuvée is a Vin Secret. It's a secret. It's 90% Pinot Meunier, 5% Chardonnay, 5% Pinot Noir. Her style is always long lees aging. So this is 2008 vintage, disgorged in 2016. So always at least 6 years for this cuvée on the lees. I always think it's fantastic to have like a super sort of rich style of champagne, bit of sherry notes in there, some hazelnut skins. It's a lovely food wine too, to match with like main courses. Sunday roast. It's great with Sunday roast.
I've been practicing.
Yeah. It's the Marne Valley, so Pinot Meunier. I always think Pinot Meunier is like the loser in school, you know, the schoolyard. Sorry, did you middle? You know, when we're trying to form, we play dodgeball in school. Do you play dodgeball here?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, when you're trying to make up a team in dodgeball and you don't have enough people on your team, you pick Pinot Meunier because that's the only person left on the schoolyard that nobody wants to kind of play with. But you use him because you wanted to fill a team. But I think nowadays people realize how special it is, and it's one of those sort of rough around the edges kind of characters. To me, it always reminds me of spices, you know. And this is very typical, like almost anisey, licorice. I always think rye, toasted rye, you know. And people have grown to love Pinot Meunier now.
In Canada, we say like the alternate on a curling team is kind of like our expression.
But Francois, she's still very active. I think all sort of motherly winemakers tend to not leave their baby to their kids very easily. She's always there. I go to the annual April champagne tasting. She is the mother goose. Like, she speaks in a room of 100 people, they all stop and listen to her.